Messi and the World Cup. For years, Lionel Messi was called the greatest footballer without a World Cup title. He had won league trophies, individual awards, and international recognition, yet one piece was missing from his story. Fans debated endlessly. Could he truly be the greatest without lifting football's most iconic prize? In 2022, in Qatar, the world watched as Argentina reached the final against France in one of the most dramatic matches ever played. The pressure was immense. Every touch, every pass, every movement carried expectation. It felt like history waiting for its final chapter. The Golden Trophy. When Messi finally lifted the Golden Trophy, the moment felt larger than sport. The cup itself, made of gold, symbolized decades of dreams, struggles, and responsibility. It represented the hopes of an entire nation and the journey of a player who had carried expectations for years. For Messi, it was not simply a victory, it was closure. It was the missing piece of a story that had defined his life and career. In that moment, emotion replaced pressure. The stadium erupted, fans cried, teammates celebrated, and Messi stood at the center of it all, holding gold. From star to legend. That victory transformed his legacy forever. He was no longer only a brilliant footballer, he became an unquestioned legend. The Golden Trophy became a symbol of perseverance, patience, and belief. It showed that greatness is not defined only by talent, but by endurance and the ability to rise again after disappointment. Fans across generations witnessed the moment when dedication and destiny aligned. Gold did not just reward Messi's career, it completed it. NBA championship rings. In basketball, the ultimate symbol of success is not only a trophy, but a championship ring. Players wear these rings as physical reminders of victory, teamwork, and shared achievement. Made of gold and often decorated with diamonds, they represent more than design or luxury. They carry emotion, memories, and the story of a season defined by effort and sacrifice. For players, the ring is something they carry with them forever. Example, Toronto Raptors. When the Toronto Raptors won the NBA championship in 2019, they received some of the most valuable rings ever created. Each one included detailed engravings, logos, and references to key moments from the final games. The rings captured not only the victory, but the journey. Every game, every challenge, every turning point that led to that final celebration. They became personal artifacts of history. Personal history in gold. For athletes, a championship ring is deeply personal. It represents years of effort, moments of doubt, and the realization of a dream. When players look at the ring, they remember the team, the atmosphere, and the pressure of competition. Gold becomes a permanent reminder of a moment when everything aligned. It is proof that their story is written into the history of the sport, not just as statistics, but as lived experience. Tour de France symbol. The Tour de France does not award gold medals, yet gold exists in another form, the yellow jersey. This jersey represents leadership, endurance, and dominance in one of the most demanding competitions in sport. Cyclists compete for weeks across mountains, valleys, and extreme conditions. The yellow jersey is worn by the leader, the athlete closest to victory. It is instantly recognizable, and it carries enormous meaning. Eddy Merckx's legacy. Cyclist Eddy Merckx wore the yellow jersey longer than anyone else in history. Known as the Cannibal, he dominated the sport with relentless determination. His achievements transformed the jersey into more than a symbol of leadership. It became a symbol of excellence, ambition, and control. For future riders, wearing the jersey meant entering history. Weight of leadership. Cyclists often say the yellow jersey feels heavy, not physically, but mentally. Everyone watches the leader. Every move is analyzed. Every mistake becomes visible. Wearing the jersey is like carrying gold around your shoulders. It represents success, but also expectation. It reminds the athlete that victory is close, but never guaranteed, and that pressure is part of what makes winning meaningful. When gold is lost. Not every story about gold ends in celebration. In 2018, a museum in Brazil was robbed, and among the stolen items were Olympic medals. Their material value was limited, but their symbolic importance was enormous. These medals represented national pride, personal sacrifice, and unforgettable moments in sporting history. Losing them felt like losing a piece of identity. Athletes facing reality. Some athletes have faced difficult lives after their careers ended. Fame does not always guarantee stability. A few were forced to sell or pawn their medals simply to survive. Olympic boxing champion Leon Spinks sold his gold medal during financial hardship. The decision was painful but necessary. These stories reveal the human side of success, one rarely seen by fans. Human vulnerability. Gold can create legends, but it cannot protect against life's challenges. Behind every medal is a person with struggles, fears, and responsibilities. These moments remind us that sport is not only about victory, it is about resilience, reality, and the complexity of human life. Gold shines, but it does not make anyone invincible. Usain Bolt, living gold. Usain Bolt was not only the fastest man alive, he became a symbol recognized around the world. His speed amazed spectators, but his personality made him unforgettable. Every race carried anticipation. Every start felt like history about to unfold. Bolt did not just compete, he performed. Gold as identity. His medals, his iconic lightning bolt pose, and his charisma created an identity larger than sport. He represented confidence, joy, and energy. Gold was not just something he won, it became part of who he was. Fans associated his image with victory, excitement, and celebration. He embodied a generation. Conclusion: gold as immortality. Looking at the stories of Owens, Bikila, Phelps, Messi, and Bolt, one truth becomes clear. Gold is not just metal, it is the moment when athletes transcend themselves and become legends. It captures effort, emotion, and history in a single instant. In sport, gold means being remembered long after the competition ends. It is not only about winning, it is about leaving a mark that time cannot erase.